Konnichiwa minasan. It is Monday, December 1st, 2014 at approximately 7:43 a.m. It's so early. It's so early, and I love it because for me it's so very late. So I just got back from uploading my last video, and this video I'm going to probably stagger and let out later in the week. So if you see it later in the week and it's not Monday, December 1st, 2014, then you're going to wonder why. That's the reason why. So I'm going to kind of stagger it, spread it out a little bit. I'm going to put a lot of videos out here. It's like, might be video overload on some things, so I don't want to do that. We're Monday, December 1st, and still no coworker at my company. My coworker, I found out, is training a new employee to do an air driving route. So he's going to be doing that because one of my coworkers got a new job and he's leaving the center that I work out of and going into a job working during the day, which is really cool. So yeah, I think the major motivators there is that when you work as a driver during the day, you make more money. It's one of the highest paid positions at my company. So that's really cool. I mean, he's got a family, he's got more seniority than me, he's able to get the job, which is cool. I did put my name on for that job to bid on it, and I didn't get it because I didn't quite have enough seniority to get it, but you rock. I'd say his name out here, but I said, dude, you got the job? You rock. And I'm proud of you, so I wish you well. I hope you do well at the job. I hope you get it, and that you're working during the day, because working at night is very tough, and I hate it. So, but the good part is, if he got that job, then I'm not too far behind. If they post any more driving jobs, then I'll be very likely to get that, because I know there were some people ahead of me that bid on those jobs, and they had probably a year or two, maybe 3 years seniority over me. And there weren't many that people in between who bid on those jobs, so hopefully that's going to happen. Someday, right? Future plans, future plans. My moment of truth today is kind of bland. Maybe it won't be that long, but I don't know. It's kind of important. What's going on these days? We are at the official start of peak season, which started last week. And the parking situation has been okay, but this week I assume it's going to be a madhouse. So they're going to be opening the extra lot, and they're going to have a shuttle going from that lot to the primary building of my company. So cross my fingers, hope that works out. I have an idea where it is, but I still don't remember the exact address. So I know which road it is, I just don't know exact number of it. Along with the season, we have Thanksgiving over, which is good. I'm glad to see the seasons go, because whenever the seasons are around, it means it's a very busy time for me at my company. So, God, I hate to say it, because the holidays are really beautiful. But we have other things that happen. It gets cold. Oh yeah, it gets cold. And the rent is going up in the place where I live. Oh yeah, it's going up. And guess what else is happening? No, it's not going up. It's actually going down. And you kind of think that would be a good thing. I said, no, it isn't a good thing. The heat has gone down. My landlord controls the heat. So he controls the heat in my place. A lot of utilities and all that stuff are pretty much taken care of. The heat's the one thing, because we have duct heating in the older units of the building where I live. Okay? There's probably 6. I'd say 6, maybe 7, possibly 8, if you can include the large apartment. Oh, I think it's probably 7, yeah. Maybe as much as 8. I can't remember an 8th one. I really have to go and count them up. But the apartment one's very, very big. It's like a real apartment. We have duct heating in here in these older units. And we have no thermostat to control what the temperature is in these parts, these units of the building. So you can't control the heat. He sets the heat for whatever it's going to be. So it's that sort of thing. I came in here a few nights and it was, 55, 59 degrees? Kind of cold? If anybody thinks that's cold, let me know. If anybody thinks that's okay, I'm going to have to talk with you and probably get some sense into you, okay? Because that's cold. I would wear my hoodie, which I got my hoodie up there, but it's pretty much like this fleece. It's lined with some kind of wool and blah, blah, blah on the inside, and it's got a hood. I wear that at work. I may wear work clothes over here. And if I'm wearing my work clothes, my hoodie, my work clothes that I use to stay warm in the large warehouse that I work in at night, and I'm here inside the unit that I pay good money in rent for maybe an hour and a half, maybe two, just waiting for it to warm up, that's absolutely ridiculous. I have an oil-filled radiator heater over here, but I turn it off and I unplug it every time I leave, because sometimes it warms up, and that thing will go and keep going because it doesn't have a thermostat on it. I don't want it to get too hot. But it doesn't have something where you can regulate the temperature. If you set it at 65, it's going to keep going to 70 or whatever it is, if it's warming up outside. So sometimes that kind of stuff happens. I think that that's very wasteful. So I said, to hell with that. I'm going to be comfortable this year. I'm going to be comfortable when I go away from here and do grocery shopping for maybe a couple hours or so. So I went out and I went up to the Walmart and I bought myself this bad boy, alright? And if you can see up here, it has an actual thermostat where you can control the temperature. It's noting it's 65 there, and it has one for 70 and 65, and I think it goes a little lower. It also goes up to 80 as far as I can tell. This bad boy is the ticket. I don't care what anybody thinks about that. You need heat in place, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous. If you take a shower, right, and you have your bath towel, right, and you set it out to dry, and it hasn't dried by the next day when you wake up to go and take a shower, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous! Someday I'll own a house, folks. That's the plan. Someday I will own a house. And I will pay my utilities, and I'll heat the place according to what I think is right. Yeah, I will. And when I come home, I'll set it so it's warm. So it's at least climate, so I can take my work clothes off and do that thing. So there you go. Not to get too frustrated. I've been working very hard for the past 2 weeks. Trying to find ways to de-stress and kind of decompress a little bit. Dealing with stress is a bad thing, but sometimes when you work so hard during the week, it's a matter forced to reckon with. I know I said I didn't want to talk about work, and I'm talking about work, so let me stop talking about work right now. So, we won't be talking about work for the rest of the vlog. Work is work, put in its place, there you go. Other things, what have I been doing? I actually sort of have a life during the weekends. I've been sleeping a lot. Mostly for the fact that I'm tired. Thanksgiving was a joy. Thanksgiving was a joy. I didn't really do anything. I didn't go out with family because my family's out and away, and I only have one day and I have to be back at work for Friday. So I didn't have the day after Thanksgiving off. That's actually a day that we worked this year. I think in the past it's been a day off, but this year, no, it's not. It's an actual working day. It's part of the contract thing, whatever. I could call in sick and whatever, but if I'm not sick, that's kind of lying, and I don't really do that. That's not my policy when it comes to work. But I did have a surprise when I came out to the car, and working at night really killed me in this. Usually I start the car, warm it up, and while it's warming up, I turn the lights on, and I walk around the car to see if there's any oil leaks under the engine, if there's any brake leaks anywhere under the engine, and also the back of the car under the rear axles. And I also take a look at the lights. It's kind of my check because, we're trained to do this at my company before we take a truck out on the road, and we'll make sure that everything's right, make sure the tires are properly inflated, everything just looks good in general. We don't have any problems. It's going to give us something down the road. And I kind of take that upon myself when I drive my personal vehicle. I just think that it's a good thing. And I did find that one of my headlight bulbs is burnt out. So it's like, great. It's Thanksgiving morning, right about 4 o'clock. One of my headlamp bulbs is out. Maybe I might want to go out and get something that I need or whatever on Thanksgiving Day, or I might need to travel somewhere. And I'm up at night. The days are short. We don't have a lot of daylight, and I'm only legal during the day if I get a headlamp bulb that's burnt. So I said, let me try to fix this as soon as possible, because when Friday comes around and I gotta go to work, I'm gonna have no time to deal with this. So I drove around, Thanksgiving morning, trying to find an auto parts store that was open. So I went to Billerica. There's 3 places over there, and there's also one here in town. I find they're all closed. And of course that makes sense, because a lot of businesses, if not all of them, are pretty much closed on Thanksgiving Day. So I was like, great. at least I could get my tools up in my storage place up in Dracut and figure out how the headlamp assembly is hooked up together and how I can replace the bulbs. So I did manage to do that, but that place doesn't open up until I'd say like 8:30 or 9 in the morning, until I can actually get through the gates to do that. So yeah, that did put me up late. And I thought, well, let me make a treat of this. I don't really have anything made, up home to eat right away and heat up in the microwave. Let me go to the Whole Foods and get something to eat. And of course, the Whole Foods is closed, so I was like, duh, Thanksgiving Day. That's the one time of the year that really just pisses me off, so I can't do anything, can't get ahead. But so I said, all right, well, let me go and make something to eat. Obviously, that's going to take extra time. I went to bed very late, probably. Oh, I think it was like 10:30 in the morning, which is definitely a time that I'm usually sleeping. But I did it. And I said, I'm going to get up earlier, try to do that on Friday morning before I go to bed and go to the auto parts store because they're going to just open at 7:30 in the morning. Get a bulb, headlamp bulb, replace that. So I went and I did that. And we replace one headlamp bulb, you have to replace the other because the second one's not too far down the road. So to avoid any surprises, I decided to replace that too. Probably took me better part of like 20 minutes or so to do that. Maybe half an hour because I screwed up a little bit. I had to go back and take things apart and, grease some things that I forgot to do in the first place. So, yeah, I gotta get it right. I did that. So now I got 2 headlamps that are working, so I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for the things that I was thankful for in Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful that I have headlamps that work. Which is good, thank you. But it just kind of threw me off. So I didn't get a lot of sleep that day. I probably got 5.5, 6 hours of sleep that day because they put me a little bit late, and just a tough situation. Working at night's not good, folks. If you don't work at night, good for you. But if you do work at night, try to get out of it. I hate it. So that's my spiel on that one. Thanksgiving wasn't very eventful, but I will be seeing my family for the holiday of Christmas, and that's good. Smart cars, something that's what I've been looking at lately. I've been finding quite a few in Massachusetts, and I also took a look at the 2015 Smart model. My idea on it, I don't like the design. I don't like it at all. They brought the frame and they brought it right down to the rocker panel, so it's all metal along the rocker panel. There's not a plastic piece covering it, or it's not very aesthetic looking. It's okay, but rocker panels take a beating on the car, and that's why the reason I like the older smart car model is because it has a piece of plastic over it. So it doesn't take a direct beating with rocks and things of that sort. So new smart car model, I like the dimensions that they have on it. I like some of the features. I like the way they did the interior, but as far as the overall aesthetic appeal of it, I bring a thumbs down, and I also bring another thumbs down. It's okay, but it looks more like a little truck. It almost looks like a Scion. Almost like a Scion XA, XB put together. The original models. So it's a sort of thing. I'm very thankful at this point. I think I'll probably get the older model and work on that. But the first things first, when peak season's over, I gotta set a plan to try to test drive one of these little guys. And they also have a higher level model. It's like like a tuned smart car. I forget. I think it's a Brabus, smart car Brabus, which looks pretty interesting. I don't think that's something that I really am in the way of getting, because I can Brabus my own smart car in my own way of things. So I don't actually have to buy it, tuned like that, because I already know how to do some stuff. But it is really nice. They had like 15-inch rims on the front, 17-inch rims in the back. I kind of like to offset different sizes and do that. It's kind of old school, so it's really cool. But that's pretty much it. That's it in my world. It's Monday. I gotta pay the rent today. I just remember it, so... Oh joy, oh joy, oh joy. No, that's not all joy. It's another bill to pay. And I'm trying to avoid paying too much, paying money for extra things. I find that I spend a lot of money on things, especially after I bought my tripod. I'm trying to keep that down. I gotta get my Christmas list going and buy stuff for people, so we gotta get the Christmas stuff worked out. Until then, be good, don't do anything that I wouldn't do, and Oh yeah, stay safe, guys.